you? This is Toni-Ann, and I am the Lake Success SLP Supervisor, and I am on today to do a little lesson that can help support expressive language, and we're going to be doing a book reading, something nice and simple that everyone can do at home. And this here is Gianna. She'll be helping me today. And she is going to be listening to the story. Within this, our main goal is that we're working on story retell. So being able to retell the story. That is a major expressive language goal that a lot of us and our patients work on. And a lot of the time we have parents who will say that their child can't respond when they ask them, how was your day, or what did you do today? So this is an activity that helps support that skill of being able to talk about their day and what they did today. So our main goal here, like I said, will be the retelling of the story. And to get Gianna to that, I will be asking her lots of WH questions as we read page by page, as well as at the end of the story. All of that helps support her ability to remember the story to then retell the story. Same thing kind of applies, being able to remember what you did today to then tell someone what you did today. Gianna is in pre-K, so she is young for these types of skills, but what will be nice is that if she's unable to answer a question correctly, you'll be able to see what I do, the therapy end of it, to help support her to get to that answer. I'll be asking questions as we read the story, so it's a great opportunity for you to let your child try to answer the story. You can pause if you'd like to allow your child the time to answer. If that's helpful, that's an option too. All right, so our story for today is called Who Goes There? At this point, your child can listen, have a nice little story time with us and listen along. And like I said, try to answer the questions as we go. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, who goes there?
You skipped a page.
No. Lewis Mouse lived all alone in a very small hole at the bottom of a very tall tree. When the first chilly howl of winter bellowed through the trees, Lewis stuffed his nest full of leaves and twigs and grass. What was the mouse's name?
Twig.
No, what was his name, the mouse? Remember his name? Let's listen again. Lewis Mouse lived all alone in a very small hole at the bottom of a very tall tree. Lewis. His name is Lewis. Very good. And what kind of things did he gather to stuff his nest with?
Leaves, grass, and twigs.
Very good. So he gathered leaves and twigs and grass. My nest is warm, squeaked Lewis. My nest is cozy, but something is missing. What could it be? Of one thing Lewis was sure. A long, long winter was coming, and coming soon. Ah, well, I will stay snug inside, nibble seeds, and sing along with the wind. What did Lewis know was coming?
Winter.
Winter. He did know that winter was coming. Very good. And what was something that he did while he stayed warm inside?
He sang.
He was singing.
He ate seeds.
And he ate seeds. Very good. Keep going. But suddenly, over the wind song, Lewis heard something he'd never heard before. Scritch, scratch, tap, tap, tap. Lewis shivered. His whiskers twitched. What could it be? Lewis puffed up his chest and roared. Who goes there? Who could it be? Who scritches and scratches and taps at my tree? How is Lewis feeling?
Really nervous.
You think he's nervous?
Mm-hmm.
Is he wondering who's out there?
Uh-huh.
But I think that it's also very brave of him to say, who goes there? Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's being brave by trying to find out who goes there. Is it an owl? A great horned owl? A great horned owl who is out on the prowl? So Lewis is wondering if it's an owl. Do you think it's going to be an owl?
I know, yes.
Yes, you do? Let's see. He tiptoed to his door and peeked outside. He peered into the dark and saw nothing. Slam! He quickly shut his door and skittered to his bed. I must try to get some sleep, Lewis decided. But just as he drifted into a dream... What does Lewis say he needs? What does Lewis need to do?
He needs to get dream.
Well, he needs to go to
Sleep.
sleep. He says he must get some sleep. Scritch, scratch, tap, tap, tap. His eyes popped open wide. He clutched his tail tightly. What was that noise? Who goes there? Who could it be? Who scritches and scratches and taps at my tree? What do you think it's going to be?
The owl.
You think it's an owl again? Ooh. Is it a cat? A sneaky old cat? A sneaky old cat who is scratching like that? So what does Lewis think it is?
A cat.
A cat. What did Lewis think it was the first time?
The owl.
Uh-huh. And now he thinks it's a
Cat.
good remembering. Let's see. Once again, he tiptoed to his door and peered into the vast dark night and saw nothing. All he heard was the wind. Since he knew he couldn't possibly sleep, Lewis made a cup of raspberry tea with honey. He tried not to think about the strange noises. What did he make himself?
Some hot cocoa.
Not hot cocoa. Let's listen. Since he knew he couldn't possibly sleep, Lewis made a cup of raspberry tea with honey.
Tea with honey.
With honey. My nest is warm, said Lewis, and my nest is cozy, but something is missing. What could it be? What do you think's missing?
Nothing.
Nothing? His thought was rudely interrupted. Scritch, scratch, tap, tap, tap. Oh no, moaned Lewis. He gathered all of the courage he had left and hollered in his biggest voice yet. Who goes there? Who could it be? Who scritches and scratches and taps at my tree? Who do you think it's going to be?
The cat.
A cat again?
I think a tiger.
Tiger. Let's see what he thinks.
A bear.
He thinks it's a bear. Then he whispered, is it a bear? A big hairy bear? A big hairy bear who is tapping out there? Do you think it's going to be a bear?
Yeah.
You do? What did he first think it was?
Owl.
And then what did he think it was?
A cat.
And now he thinks it's a
Bear.
bear. Oh my goodness, this poor little mouse, Lewis. Lewis lit a lantern and tiptoed to his door. Slowly, 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 step by step, he crept into the cold, windy night until around the tree he went. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Ooh. Who is it? Cried Lewis. Who goes there? He saw two shining eyes peering out of a hole. Another hole in his tree. Who do you think those eyes belong to?
The mousey.
Yeah, but whose eyes are those?
The mommy.
His mommy's? Oh, let's see. It's just me. And out peeked a mouse. A small gray mouse. My name is Joy. Lewis blinked. He rubbed his eyes. Oh, he said, what are you doing in my tree? Your tree? Don't be silly, Joy said. It's my tree, and I'm building a nest for winter. But I keep hearing this this creature bellowing in the night. Oh, it's so very enormous and frightful. Have you heard it?
No. Yes.
Yes. So what does this mouse think?
It's
When Lewis says, "This is my tree," what does he think? Or she
his
think?
tree.
She thinks it's her tree, right? Do you think they share a tree?
Yeah.
And let's see, what was this mouse's name? Do you remember?
No.
Let's listen for what this mouse's name is. It's just me, an out peeked a mouse, a small gray mouse. My name is Joy. What's this mouse's name?
Joy.
Yeah, and what color is Joy?
Gray.
Gray, very good. Let's see what happens. Yes, Lewis said. He giggled. That enormous creature is me. I'm Lewis. I heard scritching, scratching, and tapping, and was afraid it might be an owl or a cat or even a bear. I yelled in my biggest voice to scare it away. Joy laughed. Oh my, now that I get a look at you, I don't find you scary at all. They both chuckled. You don't seem scary at all either, said Lewis. I have an idea, Joy. If you'd like, you could take a break and come to my house for a visit. I have raspberry tea with honey. What was Lewis's idea?
The other mouse could come in for some tea.
Yeah, I said maybe if you need a break from building your nest, you can come over, right? Good job. Joy said, that sounds lovely. I can bring some crisscross buns.
Joy?
So Lewis led the way to his house. As they sat sipping tea and nibbling buns, Joy looked around her new friend's nest. This home is warm, she said. This home is cozy. How could you describe Lewis's home?
Let's describe me.
Good question. So if you had to use some words to tell me about Lewis's home, what kind of words would you use?
A bear.
So he says his home is what? Is his
Warm.
Good. Is his home cold?
No.
Do they talk about his home being big?
Yeah. No.
No, they don't talk about it being big. Do they talk about his home being cozy?
Yeah.
Yes. Lewis smiled. Yes, something was missing, but now this home is perfect.
And
The end. So listen, if Lewis said something used to be missing, but now nothing's missing, it's perfect, what do you think he was missing?
someone to play with.
Yeah, I think he was missing a friend, right? That's why he kept saying, my home is cozy and warm, but something is missing.
It's a
He wanted
friend.
someone. He wanted someone to play with and sit with and talk with. Very good. Did you like this story?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the story?
When they met each other.
When they figured it out that it was each other that they were hearing? Yeah. So asking favorite parts will help with recalling and retelling of the story, as will main idea. So I'm going to try some main idea questions for Gianna. Gianna, what was this story mostly about?
The mouse.
It was mostly about a mouse. And what was the mouse trying to figure out?
What he was missing.
What he was missing? Yeah, he was trying to figure that out. But he was really trying to figure out who was what?
Who was knocking on his door.
Who was making all that noise outside, right?
Mhm.
So the main idea of this story is a mouse who's trying to figure out who is outside of his house, right? And where was his house? In a what?
In a tree.
In a tree. Very good. Okay. So now we're going to all try to retell our story. And you can do this by grabbing someone else in your home and telling them the story that you heard today. And it's a good idea for a parent to be there to help the child and maybe remind the child of something that they skipped over. So as Gianna tries to retell the story to me, do you want to retell the story to Bunny too?
Yeah.
Yeah? We will, I will be there to help her remember certain details that she might forget. For a child who does not read, or even a child that reads, you can use the pictures to help. Obviously, no pictures would make it more challenging, so it depends on what level your child's at. But maybe you withhold the pictures and then only show them a picture if they're having a hard time, or show them the picture right from the start, whatever is more appropriate for your child. All right, so G, you ready? I want you to retell me the story. What happened in this story?
He was going to make his nest.
Yeah, so there was a mouse, Lewis, who was going to make a nest.
And then
What did he gather?
He gathered up leaves, twigs, and grass.
Very good. And then what happened?
He said, "Who is scratching on my door?"
Right, so he heard scratching and he said, "Who's scratching at my door?" And first he thought,
it was an owl.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? No, there was no owl out there. And then he tried.
To close the door.
And he tried to
go to bed.
Go to sleep. And let's see what happened.
He heard another sound.
He heard that noise again.
His eyes went up.
Yeah, and what did he think it was the second time?
The cat.
Yes, and was it the cat?
Yes.
Was a cat out there?
No.
No, he was just imagining it was a cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he looked outside, and what did he see? He saw?
Nothing.
Nothing. And then let's see. What happened?
He said, "Who's by my door?"
He heard that noise again for the third time, right?
It was
What did he think it was?
the cat, the owl.
Well, the owl was first, and then the cat. And now he thinks, is it a
bear?
Bear?
Yes.
Did he see a bear out there?
No.
No, right? So he went outside.
And he saw.
What did he end up finding?
I don't know.
Who did he actually find outside his home? Another
mouse.
What was her name?
Lewis.
That was his name is Lewis. What was her name?
Joe.
Was it Joe, Joy, or Julie?
Joy.
It was Joy. Very good. And what happened? He found Joy.
And she saw eyes peeking from his door.
Yeah, what was Joy trying to do?
She was trying.
Joy is a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Mm-mm. Joy was a
girl.
So we say, do we say he?
No.
We say
her.
Or she, right? What was she doing?
She was trying to find a home.
Good. She was trying to build her home. So also a great time to work on pronouns. He and she. All right, and what happened between Lewis and Joy? What did Lewis invite her to do?
Come over.
For what?
Some tea.
For some tea. And did she come over for some tea?
Yes.
Yes. And did they have a nice time together?
Yes.
What did they become?
Friends.
They became friends. And what did Lewis think his warm, cozy home was missing?
Another mouse.
Another mouse, a friend, someone to be with, right? Good job retelling the story. You did so good with that. Do you want to try retelling the story to your sister when we're done here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you do such a good job. So again, going somewhere, letting them retell to someone else. You can do this with any book, a new book, an old favorite book, whatever it is, and work on page by page, answering or asking some WH questions, helping sequence the story, working on the main idea. Another thing, especially if your child's working on main idea, is after the story, tell them to draw a picture of what happened in the story. Most of the time, what they end up drawing is the main idea. So that's a nice way to work on the main idea of the story. Maybe we'll draw a picture after this, and we'll post it after our video, okay? And then, again, retelling the story to different family members, using the pictures if your child needs it, taking away or withholding them until they need it, if they need it at all. Hopefully story time was fun here today and you enjoyed Who Goes There?
Who goes there?
And we will see you soon. Say bye to everyone. Thank you.